Welcome to Round Robin. I'm Brianna Venner, guest hosting for Robin today, and we're going to finish up our Hampton Halloween event series. Today we have Susan Lineberry and Glenn Oder from the Fort Monroe Authority, and they're going to tell us about a little activity they have where history meets mystery. What's going on out at the fort?
Well, we have a lot going on at the fort, but we're certainly very excited about this time of year. We slow down our concerts from the summer and we transition over into the fall activities. And one of the exciting things is that people really like to hear about ghost stories at Fort Monroe. And so we created a ghost walk at Fort Monroe, and we call it Where History Meets Mystery. Susan and her team have done a great job putting this together so that we can not only tell people about the great history of Fort Monroe, we can also tell them about some of the unusual stories at Fort Monroe.
And Susan, this is your second year doing it, right? You want to give us a little more detail about how it all goes down?
Sure. This is the second year that we've opened it up to the public. We had something for residents just to preview in the past, but this we're finding is a very popular subject, and it's a ticketed event. It is October 23rd and 24th, a Friday and Saturday night. There are tours every 20 minutes, and they last about 45 minutes to an hour. It's a walking tour with a guide, and there are storytellers along the way, and it's a lot of fun. We'll show off Fort Monroe, some of the facilities. We'll take people inside, and then do a nice half-mile walk.
Do you have a pet cemetery out there, right? Do you
Yes.
go in the pet cemetery?
You know, there's other opportunities to enjoy the pet cemetery.
Oh, okay.
But what we've really found is that people, in addition to wanting to hear the stories and experience Fort Monroe, they really want to go inside the buildings. And so, to meet the public's interest in this, some of the tour guides will actually take them into buildings, and there'll be places where we'll actually talk about, the history of that building, and then some of the paranormal activity that's been found in that building as well.
And so these stories, some of them are ones that maybe people who lived at the base might remember, or you've gotten even from them. And you said there's some that are like from the residents today.
Well, we have some stories that are decades old, like Esmeralda from the Chamberlain, that a lot of their residents or hotel guests have seen, and that's probably over 100-year-old story.
Oh, wow.
And then we have some from our residents today who have seen their bed sheets go up in the air 3 feet, and their dogs acting a little strange, or people riding bikes that disappear. So just some of the things that are historic in the theater, and we'll take you in there and tell you some stories there. The recent renovation of our office building, the old post office and customs house, has some really interesting things that were found during renovation, and we're going to share those as well.
Sounds great. And you said, how long is the tour?
It lasts about an hour, and they are scheduled every 20 minutes. That's why we encourage people to go online, call us, or come to our office to purchase tickets in advance. And then they can pick their time with their friends, and it's about 45 minutes to an hour walking tour.
It's very important to buy your tickets in advance as well. We have about 500 tickets that we can sell to fill up the slots and to give everybody a really good, unique experience on these small group tours. Last year, we sold out, and so it's 2 nights, and there's only 500 tickets. So please go online and get your tickets right away so that you can make sure that you and your group have this opportunity.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
Well, it's not Fright Night at the Fort. I mean, I want to make sure everybody understands that, our goal is not to have people jump out and scare you and so forth. Our goal is to tell you the history of Fort Monroe, and that's why we think this is such a great night. Some people do bring their children. I will have to tell you that some of the stories are not gory, but we have had children that didn't enjoy the stories because they were scary, and so people will use their own discretion as they purchase tickets.
Great. And how did you all come up with this idea originally?
Well, these stories go back, like I said, decades, and from the MPs that worked there, and the things that they saw late at night, and lights coming on, and figures slipping into the mist. It was pretty easy subject matter to pull from. So I think that we're just formalized it, really. These stories have been going on for years.
And speaking of the stories, you said earlier, Susan, that if people wanted to even take home some of the stories, the casemate's going to be open, and they wrote a book, or?
Well, it is. They have republished a book called Ghosts of Fort Monroe, and it is ready in the Casemate Museum gift shop for people to purchase. The Casemate Museum normally closes at 4:30 in the afternoon, but the days of the Ghost Walk, they're staying open for the duration. So at the end of the Ghost Walk, it ends actually right in front of the entrance to the Casemate Museum. So people can go in and really, dive into the history, and then they can take home their ghost stories if they want.
All right, so you guys want to recap for us the days and the times again?
It's October 23rd and 24th. It's a Friday night and Saturday night. Starts at 6 o'clock, ends around 10. You can call or go online or come into our office and purchase tickets. They go on sale Monday the 28th. And we hope we'll sell out quickly, but get your tickets in advance.
Well, thank you, Susan and Glenn, for coming on the show today. And if you at home are looking for a little history with your Halloween, their ghost tour at Fort Monroe is a great opportunity to get that.